everyone, welcome back to my channel. Today I am sharing this layout for the Paige Evans cut file team. We are doing the 12 days of love cut files. So I am up first with this cut file. The 12 days of love cut files is a bundle that you can purchase from Paige, and there is obviously 12 cut files. And so this is the first one, and it is this Love You wreath cut file. So I am just going to be backing the letters in a rainbow style, and I put some foam adhesive down first to I guess pop up the cut file, so the actual letters are going to be adhered flat to the layout, and then the cut file itself is going to be popped up. So that is what I'm doing here. I had already done all the foam adhesive and off camera because it did take a while, and then I just layered those pieces on to the cut file. So I'm going to be using some watercolors on the background. So I just took my pencil and marked roughly where each color was. It didn't have to be perfect or anything. I'm just going to use the packaging technique and just smush the color onto the paper. And then I'll just lay the cut file back on to just get a general idea where I need to add more color. So that's what I'm going to do. And I'm going to keep the watercoloring pretty light. I didn't want it to be super dark or anything. So I'm gonna be taking off with the paper towel, taking off some of the watercolor. The splatters I'll keep darker, but the smushed watercolor, I wanted it to stay pretty light. So I'm just kind of trying to make this orange color. It was kind of, I would say like a peachish orange. So I'm just kind of adding a lighter shade here, and just getting the orange that I wanted, and then obviously smooshing it down, and then I'll lay the cut file back on, and then I'll see where I need to add more. Yeah, so that's just what I'm going to be doing for a little while, and I'm just going to show you a little bit longer, and then I'll finish the rest of the colors off camera. And I really enjoy doing this technique. It's super easy, and it just adds the perfect colors to your background. And I forgot to mention, I did not put any gesso down on my white cardstock. I didn't feel like it was necessary because I'm not using a lot of water. I'm just using a little bit in the color to get the color going. And then the splatters, there's just not a lot of water, so there wasn't much warping. I do usually use gesso if I'm going to be using a lot of watercolor, but the thing about gesso that kind of drives me crazy is it does immediately warp your paper. You know, it makes it curl, and I want my layout to lay as flat as possible, so if I can avoid using gesso, I will. So I'm just gluing down my cut file, and obviously I'm going to be gluing it down flat because I already have that dimension in between the paper and the cut file layer. So I'm just going to be gluing it flat onto the layout, and then I'm going to be using these thickers, and they're not from any particular collection or anything. I'm just going to spell out the word forever to finish off the title. And then here are my photos. So these photos are of my two little girls. They were from the first day of school, and I usually take 2 different photos of them. I will take one of them with their back to school, like first day of school signs, and then I take one of each of them just in their little outfits kind of nice just to have a, you know, an updated photo of them. And so this is the perfect time to do that, as on their first day of school. And then obviously I take one on their last day of school as well. So I just have it backed with those 2 cards. I figured I wasn't going to use those 2 cards, and then I put some foam adhesive on the photo that is on the right. And now I'm going to start pulling out some embellishments. And so I'm obviously going to be doing a tone-on-tone effect here since I did rainbow. So I'm just going to go through the embellishments and find like colors. I don't want to add too much embellishments. I really like the way it looked with the watercolor and the cut file, so I didn't want to cover up too much of it. So I'm just going to add roughly like 3 or 4 things to each color. And then I also added some gold cardstock to those hearts in between each word love and you. It's just some gold foiled cardstock. Just trying to decide if there was anything on that phrase sheet that I wanted to add. There was nothing that I really liked. I'm going to eventually take out that tree and then a little blue heart to add from these epoxy die cuts. And then I am also I was going to use this banner, but I think it kind of distracted away from the look I was going for. I liked the simple color blocking, and because this was colorful, like each little pendant portion of this banner had its own color. It's just, I wasn't liking this, so I'm gonna put foam adhesive on this, but I'm not going to end up using it. But that's okay. I will just save it and use it for another layout. I debated putting the letters on here and just using it underneath my photos, but I'm going to change my mind. Okay, I'm gonna also, since I have some foam adhesive on that photo on the right, I'm gonna add some foam adhesive on the letters that are gonna be kind of over top the photo on the left. So it's gonna be the F and the O and the R are gonna have some foam adhesive just to kind of keep them at the same level as the rest of the letters that will stretch across that right photo. And then just at the bottom of those letters, the ever, I had foam adhesive until it got on top of the green portion of the cut file. Then it was just flat because it was pretty much all at the same height. Going through still with the embellishments, looking for more colors of embellishments to add to each portion of the cut file. I'm still trying to figure out if I wanted that banner, but ultimately decided not to go with it. And then I was trying to decide if I wanted, which I'm gonna hold on to that thought for a second, but I'm gonna matte my background. I just felt like I wanted just a little bit of color around the edges, so I will go back to that here in a little bit. I was kind of struggling with finding some colors, like especially the green and orange. Those were the hardest ones to find, so I used some of these gold foiled embellishment since I had that gold in the cut file with the little hearts. So that actually worked really well. And that filled up some of the spaces. Okay, so now I'm going to go back to this paper here. It is this rainbow chain link background. So I'm just going to trim out my layout and then layer it on to this pattern paper. And somehow, I don't know what I did, but I messed up when I was trimming this layer or this layout, and I took off too much off one side. So I am just going to just trim off a little bit off the top of that background, and no worries. So here are the close-ups of this layout. I really do love this one. If you guys are interested in this bundle, I will leave the link to Paige's bundle for 12 days of love cut files, and I will catch you guys on the next video. Bye!